All right, y'all. We on day 1 of my vlog. I got this new camera going. I got my little TikTok light going. Now we already missed a week, but your girl is on the move. I got my little micro. What's it called? My little microphone thing going. Forgot how to attach it. My little selfie light. So now I'm gonna be giving y'all some content, honey. I'm gonna be like this. Ooh, I'm at the airport like this. You ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing. Anyway, it's nighttime. I got check-ins tomorrow, and that'll be 2 official weeks done. And what I'm gonna have to do, since I didn't have this camera first, I'm going to rehash all of what the process is for this prep, and we're gonna walk into week 3. Week 3, because on Saturday be week 3. We're gonna walk in there and keep going and talking about what's going on. Now my period is about to start. It's supposed to be tomorrow, maybe a little bit after that, if it's like back on like a real schedule. So we'll talk about like what that's like, going through different preps and things like that, and what to do when it happens if you are still competing and all that stuff. So we're gonna get into it, y'all. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna travel the world. We're gonna get into a whole little vloggity vlog. Call me Influencer City now. Not just kidding. Don't call me that shit. Okay, bye. All right, good morning. We're up and at 'em. First thing to do, get up, go to the bathroom, check in, because it's a Friday. We are 2 weeks into my little prep. But y'all, like I said yesterday, when I finally got this camera set up, I knew this period was going to start. And like clockwork, I said, you can feel the little uterus kind of push a little bit. I said, oh, we about to get going. So we're here now. So what I'm going to do is go in here, get everything set up, my little check-in section, my little flower wall behind the back. So I'm going to get that set up and then ready to go ahead and do my check-in for the gram, and then get my ideas of setting my TikToks and all that stuff up. But period-wise, I actually feel good. I can always just tell, and I've had my period for a very, very long time, since I was 9, for those who don't know. I can very much tell what's what after, how many years is that? 16 years of periods. Did I do the math right? It's early, y'all. I can't remember. Yeah, something like that. You do the math, y'all. So now I gotta set this tripod so I can be ready to rock and roll. I will show y'all the check-ins too. And that's the best part about this journey, because I never cared before either, but I really don't care in retirement. Scale drops are fine. Like, I know I'm still losing body fat, and my composition is getting better. So at the end of the day, when you have a jump in the scale and you know for a fact it's due to how you slept, hormones, period, stuff like that, it ain't that serious. It ain't that serious. Know that it'll drop back down and you keep pushing forward. But that's also different mentalities. I can honestly say it's not serious. Like, I didn't think it was that serious during prep, but of course I still wanted to progress. Even if my period just came, I was like, you know what? I can still do it. I should still be able to be leaner, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, the difference now is I don't have to be. I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for me and doing this for y'all, quite honestly, because I like to, well, I want to more so show y'all exactly how a process can go, especially like even if I wasn't my period, there have been times where my weight has gone like this, and then once it starts the shroom process, that's when we really get to cooking. And that's usually towards the end of a prep. But the whole beginning of a prep, man, please, you finna be on a little rocky little roller coaster. But at the end of the day, you're gonna wake up snatched every week, so it's kind of like, who cares? So that's the journey so far. What am I looking for right now, y'all? My phone, because I forgot that I'm not filming on my phone, so I have to get my phone. And what I always do also every morning, I go ahead and get up, turn my spa music on. I do the spa station, but I don't check my phone or anything like that. I don't check text messages. I start my day out with just like a good, it's called spa music, but it's really classical music. So I started at that, but like the classical music is like new age classical music. So that's fun. So I set that out, and then I get everything set up on my tripod. And that's what we're going to do now. Get checked in, and then I'll go ahead and do my walk. All right, now, so I take my tripod, stand in front of my window. I like the shade to be the same. Like if I go this way, too dark. If I go all the way up this way, weird, like little shadows. So I keep the light casting down on my body. I keep it the same every time. Alright, then I'm trying to get used to using my back camera, but now that y'all are here, y'all kind of see kind of the whole process of how it goes anyway. For my check-in. So what I do also period days, like when it first starts out, like I'm after a day, I'm pretty good. Like I'm like, all right, whatever, I'm good. What happens is I like to move very quickly in the beginning of the day because the sooner I start working out, the sooner I start getting endorphins moving, the sooner I just go, there's no chance for any symptoms to kick on at all. So that's always the goal, because why do I want to be feeling any type of way? I get moving quick. Same thing with the gym stuff, because I'm going to literally get out of here, do my walk, come and eat breakfast, and go hit hams and glutes, and then head up the street. Because today we had a whole day, y'all. We're going to go see a WNBA basketball game, but I'm also going to watch my clients compete at the Tampa Pro, and then we're going to go to dinner also, too. And then we're going to go to my friend's house and get to meet her snake and all that good stuff. So we got a full day planned. All right, now it's time to do my check-in. But the fun part about my check-ins now is I just do like what I call them my lifestyle regular people check-ins, where I just kind of turn a 360 type of thing, which is different clearly because I'm not going to be in my poses showing like my actual physique. But in a sense I am, because like a stage physique is not your actual body you walk around with. So that's a lot of time when people like see me in person, like, oh wait, that looks way different than when you're on stage. I'm not fully like opening up or doing anything extra. So that's the fun part. Probably one of the biggest difference about check-ins now is just turning. For the first couple of months, it was definitely awkward doing that, but now it's kind of just like, you get used to it. All right, I'm gonna click this button. Let's start filming for Instagram and TikTok. All right, and just like that, one thing about that is check-ins don't take any time now. All right, so now, got my little shaker cup ready. I'm gonna take my water. I'm going to go ahead and get my probiotic DR30. And then I'm gonna get my caffeine-free Eva Burn. Now keep in mind, I'm only doing the caffeine-free Eva Burn because I don't take caffeine year-round. And so the key thing is, I want my adrenals to be really, really healthy as I continue down the rest of this lifestyle journey. Let me turn my alarm off. All right, so I'm back. Starting up day gallon number 1. I have dropped down because I have a lot of things going on that don't allow me to drink 2 gallons all the time anymore. So what I did was, with one of the situations, I had to drop it down because I couldn't remember how much water I was actually drinking with comparison to the food I was eating. So when I came back, I reset my system so that 1.5 gallons was okay. And that worked out pretty good. Took a second, took an adjustment because my body was like, okay, you're used to drinking this much amount of water. All right, let's make sure we can kind of get back to something that makes my body feel similar. So key things to look for is, do you bloat? Can you still go to the bathroom without any water in your system in the morning time? How do you feel overall? How does your skin look? How does your breath smell? All those things kind of what I gauge in terms of what works and what doesn't. But I will every day, I'll fill one of my gallons or one of my other cups all the way up to the top. And then I'll start checking. So I'll do probably with this one probiotic by Evogen, Co-Cyd, CYD. I will then chug half of this and then put my Eva Burn in the rest of it. Shake it up, take it down, and then we head out to get our little walkie walk. So, all right, y'all, we are out the house. Part 1, turn my watch on. We got the Garmin. Oops. Got the Garmin watch. I'm gonna cut that out. Side press. Boom. Start it. Cardio. And now we get to start. All right, so we are out in the streets. So far, so good. This is probably step 1 that usually tears people up a bit. And I made a TikTok about it. Is when you have stuff going on or a lot going on in life and you don't feel like it, whatever the excuse may be, you try to get up and get going fast. Faster you do it, doesn't give your time or your body to say, hey, you know what? Don't give your mind time to say, you know, I don't wanna do that. Maybe if I just do this, maybe if I go a little, maybe, nah. Go on, get up and do it. Now, there are some circumstances where it's like, okay, there's no way could have gotten done at this time. Say somebody in the hospital, you had to run to the hospital. Then, the way I've done it, because I've actually lived this life, is I'm going to go at the end of the night. or way, way late. That's just how I do it. So there's never really an excuse, but if you want to make it easy on yourself, the funny part is if you want to make it easy on yourself, don't give yourself excuses. Because once you get up and going, get the endorphins moving, you are good to go. So pace-wise, I'm already to 130 for heart rate. I want to stick around there. Sometimes depending on, well, since my period started, my heart rate is going to be a little bit all over the place. So that explains my insomnia. So period symptom-wise for my ladies out there who can identify, it's usually, I don't get much bloat. I do get bloat because I can definitely tell. I'm like, a couple days ago, I'm like, girl, you was just super snatched. Now this is just like medium snatched. So I said, yeah, she definitely going to be on time this month rather. So I watch for that. Sometimes I get a little bit of nausea, hit or miss. Like the last month, y'all, I was in there throwing my little self up. I was throwing up for dear life. Y'all know I don't believe in TMI, FYI. So unless you just want to be private, which I'm private everything else. But when it comes to like bodily function and stuff, girl, I don't care. So I definitely was throwing my life away up. So then I remember getting on the phone with my client. I was like, sorry, girl. I just been throwing up for the last 5 minutes. So don't judge me. So there's that. But overall, the biggest change has been since I've aged. I don't have almost any of the same symptoms I had from then. Like back when I was like 9 through college, those symptoms would be so bad that you just have to literally sit down or go to sleep in the nurse's office. Like there was no other option for you to do anything else because your body literally was like, I imagine it to be like when my friends describe what it was like to have kids, I imagine it to be like that, but just every month ain't no reward. Like it just is like, well, depending on how you look at that, but it just was traumatic. So that was 9 through, like I said, college. But the last few years, and I would always have to take medicine for it. There was no way around it. I was going to have to take medicine for it to kind of like even just get through the day because it was debilitating. So, but that was also back when I was pretty much unhealthy. That's back when I used to have high cholesterol, migraines, sodium migraines to be specific, all of those different things. And I was constantly dehydrated. Even though I was working out and doing all the things, that's again a testament to just because somebody looks good doesn't mean they're healthy. Okay? So now, at this big age, I make sure that everything I do is for health, longevity, and make sure everything feels good. And so that's another reason why I can never, double negative, I can never not be on a diet because, one, my brain has completely shifted now around food, so that's one. But two, I don't have the option to let myself go because, one, if I start putting more weight on my spine, so then I have scoliosis, lordosis, and my short leg, that is going to cause me more pain and take me back to where I was in the future. So I can't stop lifting weights because the weight load and the muscle I've developed is what's keeping my spine in place and thus keeping my life mobile. So that's going to be one. But also what I've noticed is the healthier I got year round without as much weight fluctuation, drastic weight fluctuation, let me rephrase, I have definitely gotten way, 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 way better periods. And then they got even better when I started to do ginger and turmeric every single day, twice a day, year round. I will say if you do want to try, I get mine from Sprouts. If you do want to start doing your ginger and stuff, they call it a natural what am I looking for? Y'all, it's too early. There you go. Got it. Found it. It's a natural anti-inflammatory. They call it like a natural ibuprofen. So it already gets your system ready to go and not just be in a constant state of inflammation. So that's what I love about it so far. But I did notice, and I Googled it after, that it will push your periods forward in terms of the start date. So if I usually was 28 days max, it now drops to 25. So in the grand scheme of things, it's 3 days, but no pain. So like now I'm moving good. Like every blue moon throughout today, I'll probably hit like a little bit of a contraction where it just goes boop. But other than that, it's not too shabby. So what I would say in the past 4-ish years, I probably had maybe 2 or 3 like bad in comparison to my current day periods, but nothing crazy. So I already talked about kind of what this journey is about on Instagram stories, but since it's 24 hours, you probably didn't see them unless you were on Instagram all the time like I have to be. And I also posted some tidbits and some tips I'm posting on TikTok. So if you want to follow me on TikTok, I'm on there every day now. Every day, all day, getting my little post in. That's a whole other separate journey that we're going through, which actually has been quite fun. I've turned my TikTok into like a little mini diary of just like my general thoughts, health tips, and whatever more short form, but even some long stuff over there as well. So it's kind of like in addition to YouTube. So if you don't see it posted on here, shoot over to TikTok. 9 times out of 10, it will be posted on there. It's already posted already. But that's been a journey in itself, because I found that the more I posted over there, just because y'all know I can't be fake, so I'm just gonna be me. And so it's actually been super therapeutic to just talk. And the one thing I love about TikTok is I don't have to be on there looking cute and doing a whole bunch of other stuff, because I don't do that anyway. It's like, it doesn't really matter. I can go in there like how I come on here. If I want to have my bonnet on, baby, I'm having my bonnet on. If I ain't brushed my teeth yet, baby, I ain't brushed my teeth yet. Who cares? This is my camera. This is my camera, my space. So TikTok very much aligns with me on that attitude, which I do like. I like a lot. Granted, I do the same shit on Instagram too. Oops, excuse me. Ooh. I do the same thing on Instagram too. So, but TikTok is very much just a little bit different. So it's been fun and almost therapeutic, kind of like talking to a little therapist all day. But the therapist is basically yourself. And then you just happen to be including the whole entire interwebs in the discussion. So so far, at this point, I've pushed myself so far out of my comfort zones on just about everything at this point. So what is one more thing to just keep adding to my growth process and my yes era? And if you don't know what that area is, I think I posted a short on here too, so you can watch that. But so far, so good. Now, for those of y'all who missed that bit of information, basically what happened was I was at the Evogen headquarters filming with my buddies, Laura Lee and Jacqueline, and Honey, of course. And I was like, yeah, you know what? We had talking about prep and everything. I was like, oh, well. I ended up having to do their workouts and everything. Mind you, I don't do any of those style of workouts anymore. So I was like, oh, this is newish, because I haven't done them in like 2 months since I've been on my new program. And then I was like, okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and do a prep. And I think the fun part of that is because when I was in training, I think we've talked about this before, when I was in training, my sole priority was to win. My sole priority was not to show my entire process to everybody else to help them learn. Prep was for me. I help all my students learn, my clients learn in sessions. When people ask me questions, I answer them personally every day. But for that, when it comes to preps, I'm like, that's my one time not to do that. And to solely be, now I wouldn't even call it selfish, solely to be focused on myself for once. And so that's basically what prep was for me. So I think what I'm transitioning is being even more of a teacher than I already was, and being more of an advocate than I already was. And so not just telling y'all how to go through preps and go through weight loss journeys and go through all that, but showing y'all what it looks like week to week to week for me. So that's the cool part. And even especially now with this week, because there's one lady, she's in my comments on Instagram. She's like, yeah, I said you got to do a video when you gain weight. I said, girl, it's coming right around the corner, because I know how my body works. And I know I was going to gain that 2 pounds back that I just lost last week. So that's the recap for week 1 through 2. Lost 2 pounds the very first week, which is expected. Anytime you first start a diet, 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose some good little bit of weight in the beginning. Because mine is pretty much going to just be from dropping the carbs. You lose a little bit of water. Probably going to lose a little bit of fat depending on the person and what you've been doing. But it's mostly going to be a little bit of water, in my opinion. So, and from what I've experienced. So the key thing is, you don't let that go to your head. You don't get, like, though I joke on social media about it, you don't get so in your head so that way you don't ride the highs too high and the lows too low. You got to be riding that little nook and cranny where you're like, good either way it goes. And just recognizing the important part is your body composition. If it ever comes to a point where the scale is not moving and your body has made 0 changes, then you should be concerned, because then it's going to probably be something else, whether it's your hormones, whether it's your sleep. Something needs to be corrected, because your body should be making progress at some sort. That is not always weight progress. So keep that in mind, because at the end of the day, most people don't realize they really focus on fat loss. So that's the key. So if you're losing fat and your body is heart rate 137. If your body is recomping, that is going to be more important than what it actually says on the scale. So that's from a lifestyle perspective, but also even in prep, because eventually I knew that when my body wanted to go, it will go. So like I said, it would go swoop, 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 and then drop whenever it wanted to. And then when it started dropping, oh baby, ain't no stopping it. There's no stopping it. She's going to go when she wants to go. But the key thing is just priming her and being ready for the opportunity when it comes. That's the same thing as doing your diet. So when you're doing your diet, if you do have a stall out, as long as you are doing every single thing in your power as perfectly as you can, because people are like, oh, I don't believe in perfect. You should be aiming for perfection. That's just me. If it doesn't happen, okay, but why not aim for it? So people are only going to be perfect. No, you should be striving for it to be perfect. That way you already know you controlled everything you can control, because you can always control what your energy expenditure is. You can control what you can control, meaning you can control when you went to sleep, your hours, stuff like that, because at the end of the day, you got to assess what your schedule is and plan accordingly. So even I was tell the story of one of my clients, his OBGYN, we had a session, and she was like, hey Sid, I'm gonna be late, I delivered this baby. That is a pop-up. But at the end of the day, she still made it to the session. You see what I'm saying? So there's different things. Or she was able to say, like, say she didn't make it to the session and she said I had to miss. She had to miss because at the end of the day, she's still going to get her meals and she's going to get everything that needs to be done. It may not be exactly perfect in the time, but the perfection is, did you get everything you need to accomplish done within that day? Sometimes that's what perfection is for that day. Because keep in mind, like, say you got 40% one day and you gave it 40%. That's 100%. And on a day when you feel better and everything is aligning and you got 100%, you feeling 100% and you give 100%, that's the thing. So you got to give all you have on those days if you're trying to accomplish a goal. That's just my take on it. As we always talk about, everybody is not me. Everybody doesn't want to do things so intensely. And that's okay. But just always be aware of what doing less gets you. So that's my TED Talk on that. But so far, so good. We got 6 minutes left for this walk. I'm only doing a little 20 minutes. Okay, so the plan has been this. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday are fasted cardio. On Tuesday, there's no fasted because we're going straight to yoga. Saturday, there's no fasted because it's going to be a very, very intense long run day. Usually I'm going to the track right now because it's still warm out. It'll be a warm day then. And then that's been it so far. Lifting wise, I only lift twice a week now, Monday and Friday. Now Wednesday is a functional day, and with Wednesday being a functional day, it's very much, side note, remember how I told y'all you forget your periods going on if you used to get moving quick? I already forgot because I feel great. I'm already in the thick of it. I'm breathing, I'm moving, everything is relaxing. So side back to what I was talking about. So now, all right, Wednesday is functional day. I start out, the main difference here is I go back to my track days. During track in college, we do not lift before we do our cardio. You do your full track workout first, then you go to the gym and you lift. I'm taking out majority of the weights because what I'm doing is putting in like plyos. I put in my lateral raises just because you don't really do those any other time. I like my shoulders, my medial delts to be as juicy and stay juicy. So I call it my maintenance laterals. And then, what else? Yeah, that's basically it. So it look like box jumps, any type of plyos like that. But it's mostly drills. So that's more of a cardio-based one with some power weight stuff. But it's only like 2 exercises of weights. So that's what the week looks like so far with martial arts on Tuesday. And sometimes that may change. And yoga on Thursday. So it's very much a more calisthenics plan, but it's very much still showing the importance of making sure that you're still getting your resistance training in, because if you're not doing resistance training, that's when everything starts going to the pooper. So it's one thing to be functional, but you also need to be able to move some weight still. And what I found is I'm actually moving more weight. So like when I'm doing full body now, Mondays and Fridays, Friday is pretty much more so glute ham though, with a little bit of pull-ups and push-ups in there. But Monday is very much full body. And what I found is every time I go to another exercise, it's like I've started the whole workout over again. Like it's like brand new. It's so exciting. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good, I'm fresh. Like I just started the workout. So I found that has allowed me to lift great weight on those times, which I low-key love. And overall, my body just feels good. Even though sprinting can be very taxing on the body, I found that it hasn't really done me like that, because I've also kept up my body work and make sure that I am primed for function. Primed for function can simply just mean making sure you're hydrated, making sure you're still getting your sleep, making sure you're still resting, making sure you're controlling as much stress as you possibly can, making sure that you're eating your meals, making sure that you're doing overall recovery. So the same amount of stuff and everything that I did while I was still competing, I still do now, and I never stopped. And so I think that's why it was very much an easy transition into retirement for me, because it didn't change anything. The only difference is I'm not getting back on stage. That's the only difference, which has been great mentally too, to make an adjustment, because there was nothing to adjust. So that's a win for me. But thank y'all for joining me on my walk. We got 2 minutes left. I'm almost back. I'm going to show y'all a full day of eating. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to bring y'all into the restaurant with me, but it might be. It's a little cute little pocket, so can't nobody see me anyway. So I'll bring y'all with me there. All right, see y'all back for breakfast. Also, another tip before we start cooking this breakfast. For those who are on prep or just in general, a helpful thing that I've learned is kind of different ways to reduce your inflammation. Is what I used to do, like when it was like in a prep, or even sometimes when I hit my period like 2 weeks out before a show, or when it was one time I literally had like right when I was getting on stage. That was way long ago. My pro debut actually in Toronto. Wild times. That was back when I was in pain. It was very much not a good look. I usually switch to, when I researched it, it was like switching to potatoes. I actually was eating a lot of white potatoes at the time. Asparagus. I already had like some electrolytes in my diet, so I had my potassium in there as well. If you need to take a pill, you can. I just don't do that. There's a couple other natural herbs I gotta look up and see, but the ginger and the turmeric are the ones that I do currently that I know work really well. It might not work for everybody, but it works really well for me. I haven't seen any bad things. And then Epsom salt soaks too. And what I would do is, going into a show, if I knew my period was coming on, I would do 20-minute Epsom salt soaks. But the key thing is, them bad boys was hot. Like, I don't think they should have been that hot, but they were hot. But the key thing was to get everything flushed, still drinking a lot of water, still drinking my 2 gallons a day to make sure everything was flushed. So if you're close to your period, switch to asparagus. If you have white potatoes in your diet, switch to those. And do your Epsom salt baths and see if that can help you out. And then just constant movement and just keeping everything flowing really good. The difference between my periods now is I may gain like 2 maybe 3 pounds max. It's noticeable though, because I'm on a smaller frame. But back in the day, I used to probably gain 10 pounds. I look like a whole other person. So I will say that all of this works. The universal diet of just every single day, eating clean for the most part, works. All those things and your lifestyle changes can work to make sure that your hormones are in a better place. Because I was reading something on TikTok, watching, whatever. And one of the doctors was like that cramps are not actually supposed to happen. And I found that interesting after years of not actually cramping. So they're saying that when you cramp, it's based off of a hormonal imbalance or something like that. I got to look it up. But Google it and see what you find. But I find that very interesting. Anyway, time to eat. All right, while I'm currently getting the breakfast together, have the eggs cooking, oatmeal is going, I'm going to start getting my food together for me leaving. So I'm going to get my rice cakes in there, put it into my little bag here. And then I'm going to eat breakfast and then start heading out pretty early. But I'm just going to pack everything up so that way I'm ready to rock and roll. Might pack an actual meal. So meal 1 is going to be eggs, oatmeal and apples. And then meal 2 is white rice, chicken, and broccoli. Meal 3 is going to be chicken, broccoli, and sweet potato. So I got that going. I am going to pack my carnitine for my pre-workout when I get to the gym. And I'm going to throw in my other pre-workout. So this is not a pre-workout. This is my chaos. So I put this in for my added fat burning effects to go with my EVP 3D grape. So it's grape and grape. That's how I like to do that. So I have those going, and I'll put those in the same container and shake that up and drink that while I'm on the way to the gym. Piece of the morning is while I am waiting for breakfast to get done, I also have to make sure I go ahead and get my Instagram post up. I'll post on TikTok after 12. I've been doing a lot of like trial and error of when to post on these here apps. And my usual standard is going to be 10 a.m. on Instagram. It's my normal. I've been doing that for years now, and it works well. And then TikTok after 12, between 12 and 9 is pretty good. Nighttime is good for me. Weekends are clearly going to be better because I think people scroll more on the weekend and not at work. That's what I've learned so far from my little TikTok journey, and I'm currently going viral as we speak. So I got to get on here, scroll down through my apps. I already have my post set and ready to go, so I know what I'm posting, so I keep everything very much organized, so that way I'm able to get in, get out, because the person who is like me and doesn't really care about social media like that, I have learned to turn it into a job. So it's like, get organized, get it done, handle business. And this is where a lot of the discipline comes in, because especially when you're doing things you don't necessarily want to do, you learn how to get them done. So that's what I'm currently doing. So I already got my video posted up. I'm going to just boop, 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 add it in. All I got to do is find me a song. Y'all know I don't be doing no extra captions. And easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm out of there. So, okay, bye. All right, got my hair ready to go. Time to get my hair done, but we're not there yet. All right, I need to get my water ready. So as y'all can see is when I have places to go, I kind of move at a very fast pace in the morning. It can look chaotic to some, but when I don't have a camera in my hand, it's way smoother. So once I get this done, get this eaten, I'm going to go ahead and jump on in the car because, again, I try not to work on Fridays anymore, but I have one of my clients, she has a show this weekend. I was like, oh, let me go ahead and get her in. So, all right, here goes breakfast. Boom. We have apples, eggs, and oatmeal. And then we have my Evogen Omega-3s for added brain and heart health. And then we have my EvoVite, which is my multivitamin, with my full cup of water over there. So when I'm doing these vlogs, this one in particular, I won't say the amounts because I always think that's unfair to the coach or the nutritionist who makes your plan. And then somebody just goes off and gives it like it was their mental thought that went into it. Now, if I was making it myself, I would tell y'all exactly the amounts and everything like that. But also, another important thing to note is, even if I did tell you the amounts, those are amounts that are specific to me and what helped me lose weight. It may be too little food for you, maybe too much food for you. We don't know. And so when you're taking people's meal plans, always keep that into account. When they're writing it out, that is not specific for you. And so that's the benefit of having a coach for over 9 years. We'll be together 10 years in December, is he knows my body. He knows what food I need to eat, and we know what makes it drop. And so the key thing is we've always been able to watch that. And when he has the background knowledge, he's now able to do my food accordingly to make sure I'm losing the weight that we need to lose. And when it's like, okay, if she stalls out here, all right, we bump up the food here, or do this here. So I think that's a huge thing to take into account. But that's why if y'all see like, hey, Sid, why do you never give us the meal plan, the specific meal plan? That's why. That's why. Loyalty. That's it. Anyway, I'm going to chow down and I'm going to get out of here. I won't film the gym session because I got to get going and moving real good. But I probably won't tape it either, chat, because I don't feel like it. That's why. And I already did all my filming I need for this week and next week. Honestly, I got a lot of filming done that I've already done ahead of time, so I don't need to film that one. And another thing too is when it comes to social media stuff, is knowing where your boundaries are. And it's like, today I want to take this day for myself. I'm already filming everything else in the day. Let me take my gym time to myself, because that's a key thing. A lot of people a lot of givers in particular, we give without remembering sometimes that, hey, like, you can take this time to yourself. So that's one thing I'm continuing to learn as I get older. I was pretty good with it when I was younger, but as I get older and I'm able to give more, I tend to give more. And so it's that sometimes I got to say on certain days, like, listen, Friday is your day to just kind of like, just do you. And so I think that's a part of my growth process as we continue through just life in general. A lot of the stuff we're going to talk about now is just life in general stuff. Even the stuff that was pertaining to prep is still how I carried my life. And so I think that's what's going to be helpful. I'll be able to translate both of those things over. So I'm going to eat. Shout out to y'all if you made it this far in the video. Bye.